This is Docket 1136, a letter from Gottlieb and Kristen Bender. Okay. Dear Judge Lyman, Plaintiff Blake Lively respectfully submits this notice to correct Ms. Lively's letter motion to seal, filed on December 19, 2025, in Docket 1131, and to provide the court with an unredacted copy of Exhibit 2 to Ms. Lively's letter motion to compel and for sanctions, Exhibit 2, Docket 1132-2. The letter motion to seal request that the court primarily seal Exhibit 2. Exhibit 2 is an expert of the court's December 15, 2025 public proceedings concerning the deposition of one of the Wayfair defendant's designated experts, Nicole Alexander, which was inadvertently filed under seal. An unredacted copy of Exhibit 2 is attached here too, as Exhibit A. There's a footnote and says, the Wayfair defendants shall refer to Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Wayfair Studios, LLC. It Ends With Us Movie, LLC, Steve Sarowitz, Melissa Nathan, The Agency Group, and Jennifer April. Separately with the court reporter, but let me hear from Mr. Fritz.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I just want to make a quick correction. We did not submit the 929 letter to the court. I misspoke. We submitted it to the other side. I just wanted to make sure the record is clear. The court. Mr. Fritz.
Thank you, Your Honor. Unfortunately, Ms. Gavrensky's recitation is completely inaccurate. The way the deposition started was Ms. Gavrensky gratuitously asking the witness what her illness was on the record, even though we had memorialized it in a writing to Your Honor, in general terms. And then, to perhaps attempt to embarrass the witness, Blake Lively's counsel then asked her about her illness.
What is wrong? The illness was what justified the extension, right?
That's right. But the specifics, I don't believe, were necessary, Your Honor. Then there was an objection and instruction not to answer based on attorney-client privilege.
With an expert? A testifying expert? I don't think that's an objection you would enjoy with a testifying expert.
The witness testified that different counsel, not my firm or the Liner Friedman firm, had spoken to her. Ms. Gavrensky was asking her about communications with that other counsel who the witness was unable to identify. So in an abundance of caution, I instructed her not to answer. And I told Ms. Gavrensky that I would meet and confer with her about it after the deposition so I could fully understand what counsel the witness was referring to. And then Ms. Gavrensky proceeded to lambast into me, asking me if I knew what attorney-client privilege was, and was completely improper, where I simply stated that the basis for my objection and I was willing to move on and meet and confer off the record. Then after 2 hours of questioning, Your Honor, after the witness finished the answer, I said, "We've been going for 2 hours. Let's take a break." Ms. Gavrensky then said, "I want to finish my line of question." And she proceeded to then ask another question. And then she tried to argue that because the question was purportedly pending, it was appropriate to ask for a break. We then conferred with the stenographer, and the stenographer confirmed my point of view, and my recollection was that no question was pending. After which point, Ms. Gavrensky finally backed down and allowed witness to take a break. In the last instance, Your Honor, the witness said that she didn't understand the question or she was confused. And she was explaining to Ms. Gavrensky why she was confused. And in the middle of that explanation, Ms. Gavrensky abruptly and rudely, with a sharp tone, interrupted her. And those interruptions had been frequent by Ms. Gavrensky in her tone and snide remarks to the witness. So I explained to Ms. Gavrensky, why don't you wait for the witness to explain why she's confused, so that perhaps the next question will not be confusing. At which point, Ms. Gavrensky was the one who asked for the conference with the court. And of course, I said, if you want to do that, fine. So this summary by Ms. Gavrensky.
Docket updates. Cut through the noise. Cut through the lies. Come to Docket updates. We give you the filings for you to read and